What is going on, guys? In this video, I want to cover how we scaled a plateaued high ticket offer from $92,770 a month to $336,026 a month in net profit with Facebook ads. So I'm super stoked to bring this presentation to you guys. Really quickly, here's a screenshot so you can see that the client has actually been able to make $336,026 in just 1 month alone. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Today we're going to cover a few different things. One, we're going to cover an example of how you can shift your targeting so you can reduce your cost per acquisition and also increase your lead quality. So some really good stuff there. How to correctly test your creatives and campaigns without burning your budget so that you can find your winners fast and also scale your offer as a result. Next, we're going to go into the limiting beliefs and vanity metrics that are keeping your offer and profits plateaued. And lastly, we're going to cover our end-to-end tracking system that we use on our end and for all of our clients to get ultra clarity on our profitable ads so that we can scale and get better quality leads. So that's a little rundown of what I'm going to talk about today, and we'll get to all of that in just a few minutes. All right, so first and foremost, I'd like to formally introduce myself and my team. So my name is CJ Pales, and I'm a digital marketing manager here at Client Accelerators, and we are a direct response marketing agency. And we spend around $40 million per year in ad spend across Google search, TikTok, YouTube, and even Facebook. We've done around $200 million in sales in the past 4 years for high-ticket coaches and consultants, and I'm sure you can do the math on the ROAS there. We've also worked with Anik Singhal, Russell Brunson, Sophie Howard, Stephen Georgi, Justin Goff, Rush Rufino, and Traffic and Funnels, and so many more. And additionally, here is a cool picture of our CEO and founder. He's actually hanging out with Mike Tyson in this picture, and they are doing some work on his ads for 12 rounds with Tyson. So with that said, make sure to grab something to take some notes with because we're going to get started now. All right, guys, so let's talk about the client's background, their business, their offer, and what they do. So our client, Meg Tuohey, and her husband, Alfred, have a high-ticket coaching company called Making Marriage Relationships Work, where they help married women save their marriage. Meg and Alfred were struggling with Facebook ads because they seemed to reach a plateau. They were stuck at 1K a day in spend no matter what they did. And so, we took them on, we looked into their accounts to see what was going on, and we found 3 major key issues. The first one, their existing tracking system wasn't able to capture long-term customer journey data. Their targeting strategy was setting them up for failure as well, and their audiences weren't scalable, which was actually capping their revenue potential. And lastly, their pixel setup was bringing in polluted data, which was also backtracking the pixel's ability to actually bring in similar leads to their perfect avatar. So you see, previously the account was structured with 2 extremes. They either had super broad audiences with hardly any targeting, or they had super narrow audiences with ultra specific targeting. So the problem with the first approach is that when your pixel isn't fully trained up, broad audiences are going to result in a lot of volatility and bad quality leads. The problem with the other approach is that while it did produce some good results, the cost to get these results was extremely high and unprofitable because the audience pool was too small and made it impossible to scale. And lastly, the softwares that they were leveraging didn't allow them to record their customer's journey from start to finish or from first touch to sale. And that's a huge problem. And so they were actually losing all of this information without even knowing it. So they were unable to scale their ads or have any idea where their sales were coming from. So Let's take a look at some of the metrics they were getting. Initially, they were getting a cost per lead of around $47.19. They were getting a cost per book call of $73.18. Their gross revenue was around $120,800 a month, and their net was $92,770.17. So their cost per lead was at $47. Their cost per book call was at $73, but they were still stuck below $92,770.17 in profit. So every time they tried to scale, they'd start losing money on their offer because the pixel data was polluted and they couldn't find new winning creatives and audiences to expand their portfolio. So what did we do to solve this? Let's dive into the solution here. The first thing that we did was we got their tracking set up right so that they had clean pixel data, and we were actually able to improve the AI's ability to find their perfect customer avatar. Within their tracking system, Hyros, we also set up a data streamline so that when we had a lead, call, or sale from that clean data that we were collecting in Hyros, we would actually fire it back into their Facebook pixel. And so this is all a part of our end-to-end tracking system. Once this system was set up, we could identify with ultra clarity where their sales were coming from and which campaigns were profitable, which made it super easy to scale up these campaigns, guys. Really important stuff. Additionally, here's an example of a lead within Hyros. You'll really get to see why we call this our end-to-end tracking system. As you can see, on November 6, 2022, they clicked on their first Facebook ad. And we can see the ad information, the ad set information, as well as the ad IDs and the ad set IDs. Then additionally, you'll see that there's even more clicks after they clicked on the first ad. So they clicked on another ad on the 7th. And as we scroll up here, we can see that they clicked on an organic source, Facebook. They became qualified. They clicked on a webinar and they completed it fully. And then additionally on the 7th, they clicked on a retargeting ad on Facebook. And then they finally decided to make their purchase November 11th, 2022. We have every single source from when they originated within the funnel all the way to the sale. The second thing that we did was hone in on our vantage point targeting. So instead of having super broad audiences or super narrow audiences, we focused on the sweet spot right in between, where the audiences were relevant, but while at the same time they had a size of 3 million or more so that they would also be scalable. The way that we tested these audiences was we'd start the budget from anywhere from $25 to $50 per day. Our goal was to get a cost per call of $100 initially and then $150 after scaling. Then we'd allow the test to run to about 3x KPI before cutting these audiences. Once we found a handful of proven audiences, we would then throw them into a CBO campaign, or a campaign budget optimization campaign, of stacked audiences and stacked proven creatives for our first scale campaign. And this is the exact workflow that we actually used, with creative testing being stage 1, audience testing being stage 2, and then finally our scale CBO campaign as for third and final stage. So then the CBO campaign would automatically manage your ad budget across all your ad sets to get you the overall best return on ad spend. And so we would take our campaigns through this process and just rinse and repeat. The third thing that we did was actually based upon our comprehensive creative audit. The account initially was only working with images. We tested a range of new scripts for videos, initially thinking they would all take off, but that actually wasn't the case. The most important aspect that we found with the creatives was, number 1, the hook needed to be strong enough to interrupt the pattern of the prospect while they were scrolling through their social media. And number 2, the video needed to get to the point within the first 10 seconds and really hook them in. So we had decent scripts with decent hooks from the client, but notice that there was this pattern that those didn't perform initially. And it measured somewhere past the 20-second mark before you knew exactly what the video was even about. So we washed, rinsed, and repeated this process, which allowed us to find new winners that allowed us to scale. And here's an example of one of those ads.
Hey, are you aware of this little known mental hack that can save any woman's marriage and turn that into the dream of us against the world relationship that everyone wants? So far,
as you can see, the ad gets straight to the point in the first 12 seconds. In the first 12 seconds, she did 3 key things, which were: 1, she had a hook, and she asked a question to bring her target market in. Number 2, she identified her target market. She specifically said women. And number 3, she indicated a desire that her target market has. And these 3 key principles went a long way in terms of increasing her performance on her video ads. As you can see again, here is the results that she was getting before she started working with us. And Meg Video 1 was only getting a 28.48% ROI, while Curiosity Ad was getting a negative 17.63% ROI. And then here are a few video creatives that we launched for her and the results that she was getting from those. With our client success story ad getting a 352.7% ROI, our Meg Video 1 ad getting a 2,646.46% ROI, and Meg Video 2 getting a 1,243.75% ROI. Lastly, the next biggest thing that we did, and this is huge, guys, we actually shifted the client's paradigm about their metrics through our continued client education in everything marketing and scaling. So as they were working with us, we would continuously educate them on the next steps that they needed to take to get to where they wanted to go, constantly measuring progress towards the goal. And so Alfred in the beginning was actually married to the idea of his cost per call needing to be $100 or below. But the truth is, as you scale, your metrics are going to change. And as you can see here, this was the forecasting model that we were actually able to show them before scaling so that they could see the exact metrics we needed to hit at every point in the funnel and how much profit would be generated as a result. Often, the case is it can be more expensive to get certain results, and your ROAS may not be as good at scale as it was initially, but because you're at scale, you're still going to net and take home way more at the end of the day. So shifting the client's paradigm on this allowed the client to scale and make a lot more money because they were not being hindered now by a vanity metric, which was initially cost per book call. Now, I'm not saying that those metrics aren't important at some stage of the journey. At the beginning, they were crucial to helping us get their ad account dialed in. But if we never shifted away from this metric, the client would never have been able to scale and make a lot more money. So let's recap what we just went over. First, you want to set up your tracking properly to feed clean data back into your pixel and also leverage an end-to-end tracking system to see which campaigns are actually bringing in the most profit to make sure that your sales is actually communicating with your marketing. Then you want to make sure your audiences are specific enough to get your pixel trained up, but at the same time broad enough so that they are able to be scaled. Next, you want to test a variety of creatives and make sure that your hooks are strong enough to grab people's attention. And also get the message across within the first 10 seconds so that they know what the video is actually about. And lastly, to be able to scale, you want to shift away from focusing on vanity metrics to focusing on ROAS and net revenue, which is really the end game for keeping your business alive and thriving, which is what we all want at the end of the day. So when we implemented these 4 key strategies for our client, our end-to-end tracking system, our Vantage Point targeting, our comprehensive creative audit, and our continued client education, here is what their results started to look like. So before, as we had talked about, their cost per lead was at $47.19. Now it's at $31.57. Before, their cost per book call was at $73.18. And after, their cost per book call was at $185.74. And then before, their gross revenue was at $120,800. And after, we scaled them up to $624,455. And before, their profit looked like $92,770.17. And after, their profit was $336,026.30, which means that they've almost quadrupled their take home. Meg and Alfred are now extremely well off. They frequently go on vacations with their family and have been able to provide their kids access to great schools in great neighborhoods to support their growth, which is just phenomenal. Not only that, they've been able to make their salespeople very wealthy. So with most of them actually pulling in 6 figures now, which is just even better. Everyone on their team is winning, their family's winning, and it's just a great environment to be around and to have helped bring them to the next steps. So hopefully this helps. This was exactly what we did to take Meg and Alfred Tuohey from $92,770 a month to $336,026 per month in net profit with Facebook ads. So if you want to have our team script all of your ads, put together all of your videos, set up all of your tracking, and you want pretty much everything done for you on the marketing side, just like Meg and Alfred did, what you can do is click on the link in the description somewhere below this video, and you'll be able to go to the page that looks like this. And here you'll be able to book a call. We'll put together a strategy and see if we can actually help you scale up just like we did with Meg and Alfred. So hopefully we'll see you there, and hope you guys got some value out of this presentation.